various IPR sessions, and I'm also IPR along for MLR. So with this big background, let's go into the IPR. So in today's world, IPR is very, very important. Maybe you might be hearing everywhere, like even nowadays, even in movies, web series, everywhere, they are talking about IPR. So why IPR is and how best can you use it? So this is keeping in this view. Let's start with that. Another yeah, other I think the upper one is yes. So intellectual property means like it is the creation of mind. So whatever that we are creating because of the mind, so that becomes a part of intellectual property. So what are intellectual property rights? So these are legal rights. So whenever we are talking about the rights, so these are legal rights given by a government authority which result from the intellectual actions. For example, you have created something. What is the something that we see in the latest slide? So you have created something and you want to protect it so that no one will copy you or no one will misuse your intellectual property. And so for that, we need certain kind of legal protection so that if there is any violation of your rights, you can take to the appropriate government authority. So intellectual property rights refers to the creations of the mind. So these are legal rights which result from intellectual activities, industrial, scientific, literary, and artistic. Very, very important. So mainly these relate to what are those fields? Industrial, scientific, literary, and artistic. And why these are important? Because to safeguard the trade, because as R&D inventors, yes, R&D research team, and maybe you are a composer, and you are spending a lot of time on that one, and maybe out of 100 iterations, you get one iteration as success, maybe in the terms of experiment or in terms of computer program or in terms of dance composition or anything, which you spend a lot of time. And at the end, you get one final very good result. And if it goes to YouTube or elsewhere, so someone will copy it before that you, so you will get 100 billion if you get anything. Though you are the original creator. So in this world, how to protect them? There is a way. There is a way. So there are certain offices for protection of these things. Yeah. So and one more thing is, IP like any other property can be owned, sold, or bought. Okay. So that means once you have this intellectual property rights, once you have made, so you can sell it to others because you have that is now these are called as an intangible. Tangible property means land, buildings, car, computers. So these are called as a tangible property. Intangible means that we cannot see or touch. So intellectual property falls under intangible category. Next slide. Like mainly we'll be discussing very like in brief 8 RJ. So patents, industrial designs, trademarks, copyrights and related rights, trade secrets, layout design for integrated circuits, protection of new plant varieties, and geographical indications. So all these 8 come distinctly, and each one corresponds with respective field. So now let's see out of which few are very important. Like if you are working in renting teams, so patents and industrial designs are very, very important for R&D people. And those who are doing business, those who are entrepreneurs, so for them trademarks is very, very and copyrights like those who are artists, is authors, and those who are computer program chefs. Yeah, so yeah, even whatever the program we do, whatever the recipe it is, you can copyright that one. And trade secret mainly for all the businesses. It could be manufacturing or even educational, how you run the business. So you need to you need to maintain it as a secret. You do not want to reveal it to public. And layout design for integrated circuit, mainly for electronic field. So if they come up with a new design, they can go for And the protection of new plant varieties is mainly for agricultural research papers. If they come up with some kind of new varieties, actually for protection of new plant varieties. And the last is geographical indication. So where it is for a community. So as a community, what we do if because of certain characteristics, the good or mainly the good produced in that area has some specific features, so which will be protected as geographical indication. Let's see one by one. But these are in brief. What are intellectual property rights? Should be in a position to tell. Yes, we know about patents, industrial designs, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets. They are at least you will see are very, very bad. Next. So I think most of you are engineers here, right? MBA. Yeah. So mainly patents relate to the R&D, research and innovation. So they do lot of experiments, right? And they what we call is in ordinary language they say that we have come up with lot of innovations. So what is that innovation? So that means they are improving a process, method, composition or device, or they are altogether coming up with a new new method, new composition, new device, new system benefits. So that means once they have come up with that, so we'll be protecting their rights in the form of patents. So what is the patent? A patent is an exclusive right granted for an individual, which is a product or process that provides a new way of doing something or offers a new technical solution. So that means earlier we used to have very big monitors, right? So that CRT, cathode ray tubes monitors. If you look some 15 years back, so now no one is using. Now maybe earlier we used to have these filament bulbs, later LCD bulbs. Now we have only LED. So there is an evolution of technology, and this technology, whoever has invented, so it should be protected. And there is a time limit as well. So the time limit for any is to up to a maximum of 20 years. So that means if I invent a new LED bulb and if I am the first one and if a patent is granted to me, no one can use for 20 years in India. So again, the patents are territorial. So that means if I have filed a patent application in India, so that means the government of India through patent office gives rights, exclusive rights for a period of up to a maximum of 20 years. Why up to a maximum of 20 years? Again, I'll say that. So you file it, right? That is called as a filing date, and there are a lot of procedures which I will tell you. And maybe after a lot of communication with the patent office, and you clear all the situations, and then you will get a patent. Then only it will be called as a patent. Otherwise, it is called as a patent application. Once it is registered, then it is called as a patent. So once you get the patent, so you will get the rights. So that means exclusive rights to stop others. So that means if anyone is copying your technology, you can stop others in a legal way. But how further it's be active. So that means after grad, you have to pay the maintenance fee, like the renewal fee to the patent office every year. So if you do not pay the renewal fee, then it will be it is not a valid IPR. So that means anyone can use it. If it is not on your name, let's say this land is on your name, so that means you have the exclusive rights. You are due to the municipality or something and it states it cancels your registration. So that means it becomes a like public property, government property or public property. Similarly, if you do not maintain your IPR, then it becomes public property. Like anyone can use it. Yeah, this is very important. This the patent term is 20 years from the date of application of first file. No, you will not have any rights. So that is the maximum period. So here we have to see what the purpose of this thing is, like to incentivize, because you get a lot of incentives for doing your work, right? How do these inventors, like who are having master's degrees or PhD degree in engineering, chemistry, they are doing a lot of experiment and they have maybe they might have left their jobs and they want to come up with some kind of new things. So in order to intensify, so that means once a patent is granted, they can give the rights to manufacture to others. Maybe if I come up with a new LED bulb, maybe I can give the rights to Philips or Procter Gives or Bajaj or someone else, and they will give me royalty for using my technology. So when up to what time will they give you? To 20 years. By 20 years, most of the times you will get a new technology. Yeah. There is a renewal for other forms of IPR, but after 20 years or 10 years. But for patents, it is to a maximum of 20 years. And there is a legislation for each and every IPR. So here the legislation is the Patents Act 1970. So it contains all the details. You can file a patent application, how to get a patent application registered. So when the renewal fee has to be paid, what happens if the renewal fee is missed. So what we should do if someone infringes your patent. All these things should be there in the book, but it is a legal document. So it will be not so easy to understand directly. So you can visit the patent office website. There is an ad published by the Indian Patent Office. Simply go to Google and type Indian Patent Office at manual. Then you'll get a PDF document which contains about 200 pages. If anyone is interested, they can go through that. Next level. So here, I think because of some contrast, we are not able to do, but this is how a patent application looks like. Maybe at the end of session, if time permits, I can take you through the live patent applications. And because I was only talking about the Indian patent applications, right? So then what about US? What does it mean, sir? Every country has their own IPR link. So in India, it's called as an Indian patent. In US, it's called as a US patent. Being an Indian, can I file in US? Yes. Once you file in India, then there's specified time up to 1 year, during which you can also file in US. Again, you need to pay the fee for the US patent office. Okay, they will also examine. And they will look into the uh, what are the flaws in the patent application, and then they will be giving a patent registered.
What if someone who already registered in India, but they are not registered in US?
So that means the people, the rest of the world is free to use.
It will belong to them.
Here we have to see here once it is our same thing. Let's say if same LED bulb, yeah, I have filed in India, and maybe I want to go to US, but maybe in the same time, maybe on the same day, someone else has also filed in US, maybe 1 or 2 days or something like that. Now within 1 year, I can file in US as well. And if I file in US, so they will look at the filing date. Date is very, very important. So everywhere. Yeah, yeah. So here what happens if I file first in India, so that means I can get a protection even over the US people because I have filed first in India and I am filing the second application within that period, 1 year period. So, and this is called as there is one international organization called as a WIPO, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, that governs the relationships between various patent offices. So, it is possible. Only thing is how much is relevant, like if it is very useful and promising, because at the time of filing we do not know, but at least if you think that yes, this LED technology, let's say I'm going to, as example, till now we have only CFDs and the filament bulbs, and I have come up with the LED bulb. I am the first one. Maybe if I am not able to visualize, as a managers, what we have to do is we have to visualize whether this has got any promising value, net worth or anything like that. So we have to see whether it has any commercial value in the near future or not. If you think yes, then it is very, very important to protect in various countries. And if you think that it is not so promising in other countries, let's say what we are doing is some kind of research only to maybe to Indian market itself, maybe something like maybe agriculture, maybe bullock cart or some kind of plow, which is the developed countries are using very, very advanced versions of these agriculture implements. But it is useful for India. Then it doesn't make sense to file the worldwide. Maybe you can file only in India and you can stop the competitors in India. Yes. Next slide. So that was about patent. So mainly those are for so technology related. So that means in order to be patentable, so the invention, what we call there is the invention should be novel. That means it should be new, and there should be some technical advancement, and there should be some industrial applicability. Let's see each by each one. This one. Yeah. What I was saying, in order to qualify to be as a patentable invention, so any invention, it has to be new. So that means it should not have existed earlier. Yes, yes.
Patent international, right? That means yes, that will become international patents or national patents.
So there is no such word called as an international patent, and there's only one word called as an international patent application. So that means if we file through this WIPO, it is called as a PCT application. PCT application. So that means Patent Cooperation Treaty. So that means that PCT application is valid before various patent offices. But again, you need to pay the fee to enter into that country. Let's say I am an Indian, I have invented LED bulb. Now I have filed first in India. Maybe I took 3 4 months time, and I think yes, I am at this stage. I think yes, it is going to change the world. Now I want to protection across the world. So what I will do is I will file a PCT application, Patent Cooperation Treaty. So what happens? So that application will be valid in almost more than 160, around 160 to 180 countries. It is valid in that many countries, including most of the developed countries, US, Canada, Europe, Australia, all. Sorry. For PCT, not that much. For it will be around, for individuals if you file, it will be less than 50,000 something. If you have to pay in dollars, we have to pay in dollars. So that PCT is valid, and that PCT has a validity of 30 months from the date of first filing. So that means if I file a PCT application today, so within 30 months from the date of first filing, I have to file in other countries where I want to enter. Let's say I think my technology is promising in US, I have to enter before US Patent Office. If that technology is prominent in Australia, I have to enter. I can enter in all the countries, but I should have that money. It's not easy, it's not very cheap as well. Again, to enter in various countries. Again, there will be objections from the various patent offices saying that this form is not there, or this drawing is not there, or maybe this explanation is not satisfactory, or maybe this form, this signature is not there. So again, you need to hire attorneys there, which will be costly. So here we need to have a balance. You can file a PCT application, but after before 3 years, I think by that time you will come to know how the market is responding to your product or solution. So if the response is good, then you can enter into various countries. Otherwise, you can enter at least to 1 or 2 countries, major countries. Is it clear there? So there is no international patent. Patents are granted by individual countries or group of countries. Like European patent is there. Like it is valid across the Europe. Yeah. So unlike the Indian patent is valid in India, US patent is valid in US, and there is nothing like world patent. So some people say WO or some number, it's only an application. It is only an application. Whatever the PCT application we are filing, that will be published as WO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Next. You were talking about the industrial impact. No. Sorry. Previous. Yes. Again, this will be very, very important here because ladies are generally more creative, right? At least to design something, maybe whatever the garments, whatever the earrings, whatever anything that you want to design. Yeah, anything. So that can be protected as industrial design. So that means already a fabric is there and you are doing some kind of nice embroidery, and that can be protected as design. And maybe you are nowadays you can create so many designs with the help of computers, right? Computer designing for garments, maybe for ornaments or something else. So that can be protected. Only thing is it should be new. For example, I take a bottle. Yeah, so here there are two bottles, right, of different shapes. Can you just take here? So both are water bottles itself, right? But the design is different, right? This has a holder to the cap, maybe it put nicely, or maybe carry. Here he has put some kind of just to hold it, like kind of tag kind of thing, and he has put to hold. So here, if you look at both designs are different. So you can get the investment designs, but any number of designs. Maybe the material is same, the technology is same, but still you can get it. Maybe if you look at the water bottles, so that is a Bisleri bottle which is different from the Kinley water bottle. Kinley has a different shape, the pattern is different. So here we can get it provided you have to prove that yes, this is different. How can you say this is different? If you look at the top portions, so both are different. Maybe the bottom portions are very look very similar, but the top portions are different, and you can get a design. Even this is only for raw one, but if you take any industrial product, maybe it could be fan or AC or a projector or anything, or even the car outer bonnet shape, overall shape of the sun. It could be anything. So we can get a protection for it. Because if you look at maybe the engine could be the same, but the outer model will be different. So what the manufacturers do is they will try to get a design patent for their outer body. Like he has some kind of outer body a different, and maybe Maruti has a different, other things. Every car has different outer shape and pattern. So everything can be protected. We can also do a simple design search to understand what how people are filing design patent applications, design registrations. So here only thing here it should be new, and it talks only about the outer one, outer schematic view or the outer pattern, like how it's only for the aesthetic appearance. So maybe here both are holding maybe same water itself, but one looks fine for some people, and if you still improve, maybe you will improve the aesthetic appearance, irrespective of the functionality. Irrespective of the functionality, it looks fine, and you will try it as an industrial design. Yes, next slide, please. So, so this is very, very important for all of you done MBA, right? Or doing pursuing MBA. So that means you will be entering into it is period is 10 years and can be extended for a further period of 5 years, maximum 15 years. And the difference between a patent and the industrial design is it is relatively easy to get design registration. And once you get the design registered, it is valid. No need to pay every year the renewal fee. For a patent, we need to pay the renewal fee every year from the third year onwards. We need to pay the renewal fee. And here for design, once it is registered, it is valid for 10 years. So no need to pay in between any renewal fee. And at the end of 10 years, if you are interested, you can extend for a further period of 5 years. So this is very, very important. Now you already used have tell one or two sentences. It is there. No, not look because anyway it is there. No need to repeat that one. It's already there. Yeah. What do you know in simple sentences?
Any logo or something?
Yeah.
Logo that defines your
From this side, very calm. Examples. Here we have Hitachi. This is the AC. This is the projector one, and what is the AC we have? And you have everyone has a phone, right? What is the brands? How many brands we have? Mobiles like iPhone, like Apple, iPhone, Samsung, Nokia, everything. And if you look at these computers, Lenovo is the brand. Yeah. And I have my own company. Routine is my own registered trademark. And even soon we are planning to register MLR Institute of Technology as a trademark as well. So we registered as a trademark. Well, so that means in order, so that means what is a trademark now? A trademark is a distinctive sign that identifies certain rules of submission as those produced or provided by a specific person or enterprise. It may be one or a combination of words, letters, and numerals. So combination means rules and IP puts can become rules. It's a combination of word like a Tata. So Tata is also a Shima, Hitachi, and even we can club these two and we can find the Tata Hitachi as well, provided there is no objection from the Tata as well as from the Hitachi. So that is it helps consumers. So why trademarks are important from the management perspective is like it helps consumers identify and purchase a product or service because of its nature and quality indicated by its trademark and field needs. So that means what happens is like there are very very big brands like BMW, Rolls Royce, right? Even looking at the brand only, like we may not have entered into all the luxurious car, but even if you say it, yes, yeah, yeah, super car. If someone says that I bought a Ferrari car, that means yeah, so great. Even you do not know, you might have never drove, you might have never drove the car, but because it has a certain brand value, that looking from the advertisement and looking from the so many technical journals or somewhere saying that yes, it is the number one sports car, or maybe if it is BMW or Rolls Royce, maybe it is a very good luxury cars. Maybe you do not know, but yes, it gives a impression. And why? Because that is able to maintain that quality. You think that BMW or Rolls Royce means a luxury car, a luxury and which all features. So, say, let's say, maybe I'm a normal person, maybe now even Tata has got a good name, but earlier Tata car means it's like a cheap cars. It's not so good. Okay, if a wealthy person means why you are going for a Tata car, maybe you can go for a BMW or something like that. So that way, it is creating a brand value. Like why do you want for the cheaper ones? Maybe you can go for anything, even in chocolates or everywhere, right? So you have a brand names. So even for any, including from water bottles as well. Like some water bottle cost more than 150 rupees, right? So that some Himalayan water or something, or even in the normal water itself, they charge 40 rupees, 50 rupees as a normal water bottle you get in for 20 rupees. So because they want to maintain their quality, yes, they may add certain inherent like add vitamins to it. They may have that strict quality control policy and maybe other benefits as well, because of which they want to have a premium price. So this word premium price, in order to get a premium price, there should be a market share. And even if you get it, you have to keep it up. So you have to keep others from using your market share or the brand value. How you can do is by having a trademark registration. So once you have a trademark, you cannot you can stop others from using the same name. Like Infosys is for providing as a IT services company, Infosys, TCS. Now, if I want to open Infosys software company, it will not be possible for immediately what we do. Infosys will file a case against it. We file both civil, criminal, whatever the possible things are, and they will file. Now, why? Because it is registered, and even in the trademark, there are certain marks known as well-known trademarks. So that means these well-known trademarks, you cannot file in any class. Maybe Infosys there in IT services. Now I want to sell chocolates in the name of Infosys. Still, the trademark office will not say no. No. People will get confused. Infosys is a well-known brand. Yes, it's a very famous IT company. Now, if you launch Infosys water or Infosys chocolates, people will think that it is manufactured or sold by Infosys company. Infosys thing. So it is all possible. So there's like for well-known trademarks, for well-known trademark, you cannot use the trademark for any goods or services. Any question for you? Should we have any? Next slide. So I already told that in order to improve your sales, so you need to have a very distinctive name, very distinctive. Like one of the best examples I see everywhere is Dabur. So it is a coined word. And like again, if you tell like Infosys, and there was also another company like Infotech, and there were a lot many companies came, L&T Infotech, HCL Infotech, and some other things. And then what happened a lot? So this Infotech company changed the name because it was not giving the uniqueness in the market. And they have come up with a new strategy with a new name. Now it is called as CIEM, CIEM. So from Infotech was the real bad name, which was like looking like a generic one. And they have come up with a brand called as a SIEM. And if you, for at the time of starting itself, if you point very good name, if you point very good name like a Dabur. So how that word came, the inventor was the proprietor was Dr. Burma. Dr. Burma. So what he has done is coined into Dabur, and now which is a very famous brand for foods. So that's how you create your brand. So if you coin it, so it will be very difficult for others to copy. And if you take something from like Infosys, Infotech or something, it will be very easy to copy for others in some way or the other. So yeah. So yeah. Next slide, please. When compared to other forms of idea. So this trademark is very relatively easy and cheap. And the production it gives you is very, very strong. For any brand, maybe you are entering in maybe in 1 or 2 years, you'll be entering new company. You see what is their trademark portfolio. So if it is not there, you have to develop that one. Not only one, you can find numerous trademarks, maybe for the premium products, one ordinary products, other maybe different horizontals will be there, different verticals will be there. So you can have the trademark for each and every product. Yes. So what is the cost? Cost is relatively easy. Like for all the small entities or individuals, the government fee is 4,500, and somewhere agents like me they charge around 2,500, 2,500, 5,000. So that means within 10,000, you can get a trademark registered on your name. So once you get a trademark registered for that particular goods or services, so that means in the trademarks we have overall 45 classes. So class 1 is for chemicals, class 2 is for paints, sorry, and class 3 is for perfume, soaps and other things. Class 5 is for medicines. Class 9 is for this hardware components. And again from class 35 to 45 we have services. So that means education and training, MLR Institute, if you want to register, it falls under class 41. Restaurant, Domino's, Pizza Hut, other things, they fall under class 43. So within that 10,000, that means if you have a very good brand name, especially uh, like a Paradise, right? Paradise is a well-known brand for the biryani. So here it was not very well, but now what they have done, so they have improved their brand and they are making a lot of money out of it. How can anyone tell? How they are improving? Like big brands, how do they get it? Yes, this. You interfere. Yes, any thoughts? how you can get money. So MBA means always to deal with money, right? Yes. So you have trademarks and let's say Paradise. So how he is able to, how he is generating money? As a business manager, maybe you have to think in a different way. As a food technologist, maybe I think about the quality of food. But as a business manager, how do you think? Branches, right? Yeah. Like franchise also, what we call this franchise. So for franchise, maybe for KFC, we do not know where the KFC owner is, right? You know it's a US brand, but we never know. We like it. Why? Because brand name and the quality. The quality, the quality is maintained across the globe. Maybe there will be slight variation from country to country. In more languages. Yeah, fine. So the quality they maintain, that is one thing. And the business method, as a business manager, you have to see that how a brand will be protected. Yes, you have taken a trademark, maybe for the logo, Paradise has a certain logo, right? Full Paradise. And they also a logo which is one, only P somewhere. Again, they put only P in the stylish ones. And again, you can also protect it as a only letter, PARADIS. And you can also one more trademark for that some brown to yeah, even in that color, specific colors. So you try to protect the trademark in various forms so that none of your competitors can copy it. So what happened? So people were using that range, and now they have a very good legal department to take care of that brand protection. Brand creation is important. At the same time, brand protection and brand enforcement is also very important. Brand enforcement means you have to stop others. If I put one hotel by Paradise Tea, so that means they have already registration for hotels, restaurants, tea, everything will be there. Then I should be in a position to stop immediately by something. I should be in a position to send a legal notice and lodge a police complaint and even to file a case before the court of law. So that means you should be very able to protect your brand. Otherwise, slowly what happens? Someone will say Paradise or Daisy, something, one or two last letters they change, and slowly they start putting, and consumers will be confused. They wanted to have your authentic Paradise biryani, but they will be going to Paradise something, and they think, yeah, it is based. And later they realize that no, at least this Paradise people should have stopped them, otherwise I would have not entered this particular restaurant. So this is the brand enforcement. And this one more thing that I was telling is this franchise model. So how to develop your that catalog kind of thing. If you go to any KFC, Domino's, Eurokids, schools as well. So they have certain standards. There will be very good booklet. Okay, you need to have this much of area. You need to have this kind of books. For example, if you want to have this Eurokids or some other schools are there, right? Popular schools across like even in all the cities, and even we have like Delhi public school, right? Though it has base at Delhi, now we have various Delhi public schools at Hyderabad. So all of them will have a similar certain very closely related things, like in the form of uniforms, in the form of books, curriculum, holidays, and everything. And even most of the times, even the uniforms also will be the same. So how this person is getting money? Because you will see, okay, if you want to establish a Delhi public school, let's say in Hyderabad there are a lot many. Now let's move to Warangal. Now what you will say, how much of experience you have, how much of potential you have to run this show. And at the end, if everything is satisfied, what it shows, yes, you should have 10 acres of land and you should make this kind of things. And once everything is ready, you have to follow these kind of books, and I will be sending the paper format, examination format, entrance, how to take admissions, everything. At the end, what happens is like for every student, then the commercial comes. You have to give me around 25%, 20% of the fee that is paid by the student. So that way he's able to get it. Similarly, for Paradise as well, he will say that, okay, I will help you in establishing. First, maybe their team will come and see, okay, and even they will give you the training for the recipe and everything. Everything the customer, the franchisee owner, he has to, the who has taken the retailer, he has to pay for it. At the end, if it is like ready to launch, once you start selling, maybe you'll say for every 1 lakh, you need to pay me as 5%, 10% as royalty for every 1 lakh or maybe for every month. There are certain business models like you business managers can develop in various fields. So this is a commercialization of trademarks. So a company may have very good trademarks, and even how you can do, maybe a company is having hundreds of trademarks, but they are not commercializing. Maybe as a uh, business manager, what you can do, you can license this brand to some other people. Like maybe Lux is there. Lux is a store, but it's very has a very good value, right, in the market. Lux. Maybe someone is looking for a good brand for a deodorant, which are related products. So maybe if someone approaches, maybe you can say yes, you can use Lux, but for every product you need to pay me as a 5% royalty. So you can exploit the brands and you can generate a lot of revenue out of it. Like some brands which you are not using, so you can sell the brand or you can license it, you can franchise it. There are so many ways for commercialization of trademarks. And the different main thing is like once you are putting TM, it means
Trademark, trademark.
R. What is the difference? Which one is registered, TM or R?
Here, it is trademark and it's registered.
Both are trademarks.
Now,
Which one is registered?
R.
R is registered trademark. TM is applied for trademark, like trademark application pending. So once you file today, you can put TM. Once you file, you get a trademark application number, and you can put TM. TM. And once it is registered, then they will put R. Sometimes what happens is like they have these modes how to impose it. So that will be costly. And maybe they'll think, okay, maybe though it has got registration, it cannot change immediately the packaging and other stuff. Maybe it will take some time, and then if you watch more continuously, maybe after 6 months or 1 year, it will become changes from TM to R. Yes. Yeah. Do you have 10,000 now? I can register a bank for you by email. Any product. Yeah, so just write an email to me or call me. I'll register. Only one signature is required for authorization form. Within 2 hours, you can put TM. No, maybe for no, like whether whatever is the 45 classes, whether it is for computers or fans or pizza, water, table, chairs, anything, it is same. Only thing is that a brand should be available. Let's say you want to search for maybe a different brand, maybe Apsara, and maybe it's already there for chairs. Then you cannot use that same way, and then you need to coin it to get it as to make it as a unique. So how can you make? Let's say the management says to you, now there is a Apsara they want to launch, maybe for computers, and now that Apsara is already registered, you come to know. Then what do you suggest to the management? Sir is already registered, fine. Then you say me a new word. How can you do that one? Something you have to be creative. So that's what creativity. So you see, sometimes what happens is like the management or the owner says, no, no, it should be very similar to Apsara only because somehow he wants to some kind of inclination that I want to put it. But so what you do is like maybe various, yeah. So main thing is first 3 or 4 letters are very very important. So Apsara, maybe I can put it as maybe my name is Vijay Bhaskar, Bapsara, something like B. or something else, maybe whichever is Raspara, whatever it is, Despera, whatever it is. Reseller, he is not selling anything, no. He is only like he is like so there are various relationships, no, in the management. Franchisee, like uh, franchisor and franchisee. Here, thing is like this retail outlet, whoever is taking, he is forced to do certain things. Like he has to maintain the quality. He has to maintain the books of accounts. He has to there are like the booklet will be there. So do's and don'ts. So you need to follow it. Otherwise, you will say that if you do not follow the rule specified, then I may cancel the registry, cancel the license to you. It's called as a license for the franchise to use. So then, like, is it clear? So reseller is a different one. Reseller is like most of the times resellers they do not sell the original goods, maybe the already used reseller resellers. Like in the Amazon, you get resellers, right? So HP laptop, if you sell the reseller, so that means most of the times it is not a brand new, it is already used one. So the name itself reseller. So here in the your franchise, so it maintains the quality will be the same across India, across all the franchise units. He wants to have a similar pattern. So if a restaurant is there, maybe like if you go to any good restaurant, so wherever you go, Kore's or some restaurant, wherever you go, you see the pattern very same and how they receive the customers regarding the welcome drinks, regarding the snacks, everything will be almost same. Even maybe the billing part, maybe if it is kept in a very good commercial area, maybe the rates will be more, but otherwise it will be like everything same. Even the hotels, like every hotel, so they will try to maintain, okay, our front office should be like this, our room should be like this, and people should welcome in the particular way. If you go to all the Taj hotels or something, so they have like a common code kind of thing. They have like every group of hotels, every restaurant, like a group, so they have the similar yeah, patterns or something. So they want to say that one. Okay, if I go to maybe Taj in the Banjara Hills, it's not fine, or maybe Taj near to Gachibowli, so they do not want any kind of mounts. So wherever you go, so the customer should experience the same comfort. And for this, they are charging very premium. Even I can get a OYO room maybe for 500 to 1000, but you will never get a room in Taj hotels, right? Why? Because the ambience and the facilities they give are completely different. Okay. At what time do you stay? Still we have 9 minutes. Yeah, next minute. So TM means, yeah, fine. TM means applied for trademark, R means registered trade. So now, again now, copyright, very clear. There are, so encircle C is for copyright. So what is copyright? Any idea? Now we have discussed the various forms, and this is the, it is there, do not do. Yeah. It's mainly for literary and artistic works. So whatever the audio songs, whatever the video songs, now after this online adventure, people are copying. Maybe earlier we did not know, but if you most of the Telugu films, maybe some 25 to 30 years back, people used to copy the Western music and they used to put it in the Telugu song, Telugu, Hollywood, like Tollywood, maybe Bollywood or somewhere. So they used to listen to maybe Spanish music or French music or somewhere. And else they used to put the tunes into these Telugu movies and they got very good credit. They copied, they cheated someone, and they enjoyed the profits here. So now with this copyright, so what people are doing is even now the foreign authors or foreign lyricists, the composers, so they are trying to file a copyright even at least once you file. So this copyright has a vast validity, like even no need to register in other countries, like trademarks partly, but patent has to be registered. He must mandatorily registered in each and every country. Then only you can take action against the infringers. Trademark, yeah, because there is also a provision called as a passing up. Even though let's say Infosys is there and someone is using Infosys in maybe Pakistan or somewhere. So at least this Infosys in India, though it is not registered in Pakistan, can raise a complaint. But in case of copyrights, if one movie is released in US and I cannot copy in India, so because the copyright is almost like a worldwide, no need to register. Even the copyright subsists as once it is created, that means it is a copyrighted, whatever the copyrighted work. It could be audio song, video song, story, poem, novels, anything, whatever it is. Once you create, and if you are able to prove that one, you are the creator, then the rights come automatically. So this is the power of copyright. So mainly for this literary and artistic works. So what can be done like literary works such as novels, poems, plays, reference works, yes, newspapers, computer programs, databases, yeah, films, musical compositions, choreography, like advertisement, even nowadays advertisement also very some very good, right? Some advertisement if they are catchy and they think they will make you at least to buy that product. So that means advertisement and like that goods. So they relate, right? So very good advertisements are there. Even you can protect that advertisement as a copyright. So here copyright important role is copyright subjects to work by virtue of creation. So as I already indicated that once you create, you will become the author for it. Hence, it is not mandated to register. However, registering a copyright provides evidence that copyrights exist in the work and created in the form. So once you create as a copyright work, then it will have a lot of values.
Does it require relevance?
Require?
Relevance.
No, the period of copyright is more than 50 years. Depends upon 50 to 60 years. Plus again, if it is a literary work, again there is some 25 to 30 years after the death of the author. So no need to renewal. 50 years is a very good time, right? So it's only one time registration, very easy. So the advantages I'll tell you. Let's say you are a music composer or a choreographer, very good choreographer. Maybe like Michael Jackson, you have very good steps. And what happens if you do not have a copyright? Maybe once you post in the on the internet, what happens? Maybe Prabhudeva may copy, or maybe Shekhar Master may copy, or someone else may copy, and they may give it to Ram Charan or Allu Arjun or anything. And later you think this was the step I composed. And let's say if you have a copyright, and if it is registered as a copyright, and but this Shekhar Master or Prabhudeva did not know, they have copied it, they have inserted the movie, and that movie became a blockbuster because of this step. Then you can send a slowly a legal notice. You can take it into the court of law. So there are so many cases happening. This is a practical thing. It happened in most of the time. No, every time if you read the social media, they say this was my story, that was my story. Yeah. Even in Ram Charan's Magadhira, what was the controversy there? So, what was the famous song in it? It's a famous song in Ram Charan's Magadhira. One more. ఏ పిల్లడో వెళ్దాం వస్తాం, right? And there was one Vangapandu. There was one Vangapandu who was the original author for this. It was not completely that song. ఏ పిల్లడో వెళ్దాం వస్తావా, and the tune was similar. ఏ పిల్లడో వెళ్దాం వస్తావా, and he has used it. So this Vangapandu, I'm not sure whether he has registered as a copyright, but there was a proof. There was solid proof. Maybe because he performed various levels, so he could get that videos and other things, and slowly the matter got settled. If you do not have any proof, then they will reject it. Film industry, they will not even allow to meet you to office. But if you have this copyright registration, you can directly send a legal notice. And even in FIDA also, there was some songs that Mangli sang, but there was that was actually a song of Saranga Darya. So that means you will see a lot of examples. So that was the originally point, and somehow she was paid a very meager amount, I think. If you do not have registration, so it's as if they'll give you some 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, as if like a you're begging, you're not demanding there. If you have all the rights, legal rights perfectly, no need to beg. They will come to you. They will come to you in a proper way, proper format, and they will give respect. So once you have these all registrations with you, you will get a respect, whoever it is, whether it is Amitabh Bachchan or whoever it is. If he has copied, that means he has to give you the share or proper share. And mainly it will be decided by the, if it is not possible for you to have the mutual discussion between the parties, then you go to the court of law and the court of law will decide how much, what is the person looking at the accounts. Okay, if it is a 100 crore movie and after removing the expenses, that the profit is 50 crores, and mainly because of this step. So if he says 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, no, at least there should be around 10 to 15% as penalty, and you will get it. So these registrations, so being a future manager, so these are very, very important. Even the software program code. So now what happens is like after this AI, so it's giving a lot of codes. But if that AI, chat GPT or something else is giving your code, which was there on the Google, and if someone is commercializing, then you can sue them, saying that you are using my code for your program. I have come to know, and this is the proof. It is already registered as a copyright, and because of which you are getting some this much of revenue. Please give me 10% or 20% of it. So by having registrations, you can enforce the rights of others. Next slide. Here, one important to know is like copyright law protects the expression of an idea, not the idea itself. What does it mean? Copyright law protects the expression of an idea, not the idea itself.
The way
So here, let's say you go to, you hear some lecturer like mine, or maybe you watch a movie and you are asked to narrate the movie. So that means every person narrates in a different way. The same story. If you look at the epics, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all the works, so every author has written in their own way. The basic is same like katte, kotte, teche, right? Yeah, it's very simple words. It's if you written, but how people are writing. So one person author is writing in 100 pages, one person is writing in 200 pages, one is publishing as a one book with so many examples in it. So that means each and every person will get a copyright. Because here the idea is like katte kutte, the only simple thing. But they are presenting that information in a way which is very promising to the readers. So some if you look some author stories, so the moral will be very simple, and you can tell the story in maybe in 3 or 4 lines. But he is narrating in such a way that even it takes 3 to 4 pages, or maybe 30 to 40 pages, or even something more. So here that expression, so the copyright law protects the expression. Maybe the concept is same, but how he is building up the copyright. Even you will also get a copyright, especially for foreign language. Like you're not, you are inspired by a certain other works, and based upon that one story, you'll write another story. So here's that is important. If you take movies, then again it's different. Like if you, how much is that? Like most of the stories is like love story, triangular love story, or something. If that is same, fine. But even the characters and other things are very same, then they may take action against you. Because what happens many times is like they, for example, if you watch a Tamil movie, and if you want to almost produce like a remake or dubbed movie, then it is a copyright violation. Remake as it is with the different characters. Here also there will be one scene, instead of Tamil characters, you have now from Tollywood characters. But here what is happening? Yeah. So here you are violating the copyright. But you are inspired that one and you are changing the entire thing, then it will not be a copyright violation. So this is what the copyright law protects the expression of idea, not the idea itself. Even in the case of patents, it will be the complete idea itself. In whatever the way you have manufacturing of LED bulb. I have a patent for a LED bulb. So in whatever they we try to manufacture the LED bulb. So if it is at the end, if it is a LED bulb, so that means you are violating my patent rights. So these are the differences. Yes, shall we take a break? Yes. Yeah, we'll take a break and we have one more session and we can continue to try to club answer. Thank you.